वह बच्चों के बीच खेल रही है। She is playing among the children. She is playing among the children. पेड़ों के बीच एक घर है। There is a house among trees. There is a house among trees. वे भीड़ के बीच टहल रहे थे। They strolled among the crowds. They strolled among the crowds. उनका मानना है कि हमारे बीच एक जासूस है। He believes that there is a spy among us. He believes that there is a spy among us. भीड़ के बीच अभिनेता खड़ा है। The actor is standing among the crowd. The actor is standing among the crowd. को लोगों के बीच नहीं बोलना चाहिए। You should not speak among the people. You should not speak among the people. वह कई छात्रों में से चुनी गई है। She was chosen from among many students. She was chosen from among many students. वह हमारे बीच लोकप्रिय है। He is popular among us. He is popular among us. उन्होंने अपनी संपत्ति गरीबों में बांट दी। He distributed his property among the poor. He distributed his property among the poor. बच्चों में चॉकलेट बांटे। Distribute chocolates among children. Distribute chocolates among children. उन्होंने गरीबों के बीच भोजन वितरण किया। He distributed the food among the poor. He distributed the food among the poor. बोलने से पहले सोचो। Think before you speak. Think before you speak. इसे 7 बजे से पहले करें। Do it before 7 o'clock. Do it before 7 o'clock. उसने लंच से पहले काम खत्म कर लिया। He finished the work before lunch. He finished the work before lunch. वह अपना काम हर चीज से पहले रखता है। He puts his work before everything. He puts his work before everything. ट्रेन समय से पहले पहुंच जाएंगी। The train will reach before time. The train will reach before time. कृपया मंगलवार से पहले लौट आए। Please return before Tuesday. Please return before Tuesday. यह युद्ध से पहले से वही रह रही है। She is lived here since before the war. She is lived here since before the war. उसे जज के सामने लाया गया। He was brought before the judge. He was brought before the judge. वह तुम्हारे सामने खड़ा था। He was standing before you. He was standing before you. वह मेरे सामने खड़ा नहीं हो सकता। He can't stand before me. He can't stand before me. पूजा मेरे सामने बैठी थी। पूजा was sitting before me. पूजा was sitting before me. राहुल पुलिस के सामने खड़ा हो गया। राहुल stood before the police. राहुल stood before the police. उसने सिंहासन के सामने घुटने टेके। He knelt before the throne. He knelt before the throne. आपका नाम सूची में मेरे सामने है। Your name is before mine on the list. Your name is before mine on the list. वह मेरे सामने आया। He arrived before me. He arrived before me. उसने गवाहों के सामने यह कहा। She said it before witnesses. She said it before witnesses. मैं अपने घर आने के बाद सो गया। I slept after I arrived at my house. I slept after I arrived at my house. वह उस लड़की के पीछे था। He was after that girl. He was after that girl. मैं उनके पीछे पहुंचा. I reached after them. I reached after them. हम लंच के बाद निकलेंगे. We will leave after lunch. We will leave after lunch. वे 5 बजे के बाद पहुंचे. They arrived shortly after 5. They arrived shortly after 5. इसके कुछ देर बाद उन्होंने इस्तीफा दे दिया. Not long after that he resigned. Not long after that he resigned. परसों मिलते हैं. Let's meet the day after tomorrow. Let's meet the day after tomorrow. 10 अप्रैल के बाद उन्हें पैसा मिल जाएगा. He will get the money after the 10th of April. He will get the money after the 10th of April. इनाम जीतने के बाद वह रातों रात मशहूर हो गई. After winning the prize, she became famous overnight. After winning the prize, she became famous overnight. 1 घंटे के बाद मैं घर गया. After an hour, I went home. After an hour, I went home. आधी रात के बाद ही हुआ था. It was just after midnight. It was just after midnight. कुत्ता बिल्ली के पीछे भागा. The dog ran after cat. The dog ran after cat. वह किताब लेकर उसके पीछे भागा. He ran after her with the book. He ran after her with the book. पुलिस उसके पीछे पड़ी है. The police are after him. The police are after him. वह मेरे पीछे आया है. He has come after me. He has come after me. स्कूल के पीछे बाजार है. There is a market behind the school. There is a market behind the school. वह पर्दे के पीछे छिप गई. She hid behind the curtain. She hid behind the curtain. राहुल दरवाजे के पीछे खड़ा था. Rahul stood behind the door. Rahul stood behind the door. इस उद्यम के पीछे कौन है? Who is behind this enterprise? Who is behind this enterprise? इस युवक की हत्या के पीछे कौन है? Who is behind the murder of this young boy? Who is behind the murder of this young boy? मैंने 10वीं में 70% के नीचे स्कोर किया. I scored below 70% in 10th. I scored below 70% in 10th. पैसा प्यार से नीचे है. Money is below love. Money is below love. मैंने लैम्प टेबल के नीचे रख दिया. I placed the lamp below the table. I placed the lamp below the table. आप 20 के नीचे है. You are below 20. You are below 20. यह कार्य मेरी मर्यादा के नीचे है. This work is below my dignity. This work is below my dignity. इस पहाड़ के पार एक गांव है. There is a village beyond this mountain. There is a village beyond this mountain. उस नदी के पार क्या है? What is there beyond that river? What is there beyond that river? हमें सरकारी नौकरी के परे सोचना होगा. We have to think beyond government jobs. We have to think beyond government jobs. यह मध्य रात्रि के आगे नहीं चलेगा. It won't go on beyond midnight. It won't go on beyond midnight. हमारी सफलता हमारे विचार से कहीं अधिक है. Our success was far beyond what we thought possible. Our success was far beyond what we thought possible. स्थिति हमारे नियंत्रण से बाहर है। द सिचुएशन इज बियॉन्ड आवर कंट्रोल। द सिचुएशन इज बियॉन्ड आवर कंट्रोल। इस ब्रह्मांड से परे भी कुछ है। देयर इज समथिंग बियॉन्ड दिस यूनिवर्स। देयर इज समथिंग बियॉन्ड दिस यूनिवर्स। मुझे उसके बारे में बताओ। टेल मी अबाउट हिम। टेल मी अबाउट हिम। वे हमेशा अपने कर्तव्यों के प्रति लापरवाह रहते हैं। दे आर ऑलवेज केयरलेस अबाउट देयर ड्यूटीज। दे आर ऑलवेज केयरलेस अबाउट देयर ड्यूटीज। वह मेरे बारे में बात कर रहा है। ही इज टॉकिंग अबाउट मी। ही इज टॉकिंग अबाउट मी। टहलने के लिए कहाँ जाना है? वेयर अबाउट गोइंग फॉर वॉक। वेयर अबाउट गोइंग फॉर वॉक। मैं लगभग तैयार हूँ। आई एम जस्ट अबाउट रेडी। आई एम जस्ट अबाउट रेडी। वह लगभग 6 फीट लंबा है। ही इज अबाउट 6 feet tall. He is about 6 feet tall. उन्होंने लगभग 1 घंटे इंतजार किया। They waited about an hour. They waited about an hour. बच्चे बगीचे में इधर उधर भाग रहे थे। The children were rushing about in the garden. The children were rushing about in the garden. रानी ने मेज के चारों ओर कलम गिरा दी। रानी dropped the pen about the table. रानी dropped the pen about the table. वे गांव के चक्कर लगा रहे थे। They went about the village. They went about the village. सड़क के उस पार जाओ। Go across the street. Go across the street. मेरा घर सड़क के उस पार है। My house is just across the road. My house is just across the road. उसने अपना हाथ राहुल के कंधे पर रख दिया। She slid her hand across Rahul's shoulder. She slid her hand across Rahul's shoulder. सड़क के ठीक सामने पेट्रोल पंप है। There is a petrol pump just across the road. There is a petrol pump just across the road. मैं कागज पर एक रेखा खींचता हूँ। I draw a line across the paper. I draw a line across the paper. हमने उसे सड़क पर चलते हुए देखा। We saw them walking across the street. We saw them walking across the street. वह सड़क के उस पार चली गई। She walked across the road. She walked across the road. आइए भ्रष्टाचार के खिलाफ लड़े। Let us fight against corruption. Let us fight against corruption. हमें उन असामाजिक तत्वों के खिलाफ लड़ना चाहिए। We must fight against the antisocial elements. We must fight against the antisocial elements. अगर किसी चीज के खिलाफ कानून है तो वह अवैध है। If there is a law against something, it is illegal. If there is a law against something, it is illegal. हमें न्याय और अन्याय के खिलाफ संघर्ष जारी रखना चाहिए। We must continue the struggle for justice and against injustice. We must continue the struggle for justice and against injustice. ऐसा करने के खिलाफ कानून है। There is a law against doing that. There is a law against doing that. युद्ध मानवता के खिलाफ अन्याय था। The war was a crime against humanity. The war was a crime against humanity. मैं नहीं करूँगा, यह मेरे सिद्धांतों के खिलाफ है। I won't do it. It's against my principles. I won't do it. It's against my principles. दीवार से सटकर सीढ़ी है। There is a ladder against the wall. There is a ladder against the wall. जहाज चट्टान से टकराया और डूब गया। The The ship ran against a rock and sank. The ship ran against a rock and sank. वह कुर्सी के बगल में अपना सिर टिका रही थी. She was resting her head against the side of the chair. She was resting her head against the side of the chair. मैंने गलती से अपना सिर शेल्फ से टकरा दिया. I accidentally hit my head against the shelf. I accidentally hit my head against the shelf. 24 को उसकी शादी हुई. She got married at 24. She got married at 24. उन्होंने 16 साल की उम्र में स्कूल छोड़ दिया था. He left school at the age of 16. He left school at the age of 16. उसने 26 साल की उम्र में शादी कर ली थी. She got married at 26. She got married at 26. मैं पढ़ने के लिए दिल्ली जा रहा हूँ. I'm going to Delhi to study. I'm going to Delhi to study. क्या आपके लिए पढ़ना काफी स्पष्ट है? Is it clear enough for you to read? Is it clear enough for you to read? बक्सा मेरे उठाने के लिए बहुत भारी है. The box is too heavy for me to lift. The box is too heavy for me to lift. पैसा कैसे खर्च किया जाए ये आपको तय करना है. How to spend the money is for you to decide. How to spend the money is for you to decide. मैं अपनी जिंदगी में बहुत खुश हूँ. I'm very happy with my life. I'm very happy with my life. आप मेरे से नाराज हो. Are you angry with me? Are you angry with me? क्या आप परिणाम से खुश हैं? Are you pleased with the result? Are you pleased with the result? उससे नाराज न हो. Don't be angry with her. Don't be angry with her. उन्होंने बहुत सम्मान के साथ व्यवहार किया. He behaved with great dignity. He behaved with great dignity. मेरा भाई मुझसे नाराज है. My brother is furious with me. My brother is furious with me.